What up, YouTube Live? How's it going, everybody? All right, let me just post it on social media here. Post it. I am now live at youtube.com/Rama Screen One. I think that should do it, right? See, okay. I think it works. I think it works. Say hello to my little friend. All right. Maybe if I give parentheses here a little bit. Go. That should work better. Publish. How's it going, everybody? It's Sunday, January 13th, 2019, a week after the Golden Globes, more than a week after New Year's Day. And so this is the first Rockin' It with Rama Screen Live episode, the first show of the new year, 2019. All right, so let me just post this also on social media. So before we get to the topics, I just want to say, man, I'm so exhausted. I've been covering Anime Los Angeles this weekend since this past Thursday, and man, I love it. I love Anime Los Angeles, but it's crowded as hell, dude. I couldn't. I mean, I could barely move. There's so many people, jam packed, and um, I walk around trying to take videos of cosplays as I always do, and after a while, when you get to a certain age, walking around uh, at any or inside any convention, whether it be Comic Con or WonderCon, going from one hall to the next, going from one event to the next inside that convention building, it gets exhausting. I've felt the pain in my knees and my calf. I had to sit down for quite a few times, and it's just wow. So as exciting as it was, I'm also glad that it's over with. Till course, the next one will be Comic in February, and WonderCon Anaheim in March, in the last week of March, I believe. So stay tuned for my coverage of those. Um, Also, make sure you go check out my review of The Punisher season 2. Whoop, whoop. Thank you to Marvel and Netflix for the screeners. I have seen the entire 13 episodes, so make sure you go watch my non-spoiler video review of The Punisher season 2 right here on Rama Screen YouTube channel. And also, before we get to the topics, before I forget, Rama Screen is now available on audio as a podcast on both iTunes and Spotify. So you can download this weekly show, Rockin' It Rama Screen Live, or any of the reviews, or any of the interviews, or any of the editorial videos as audio. You can download it. You can download them as audio and listen to it anywhere, anytime. At iTunes or Spotify. Okay. All right. So I want to bring up some topics here. I want to hear what you think about it. Um, there's some entertainment news that happened this past week, and I got some opinions about it too. So chime in if you have thoughts about them as well. So first up, the Oscars this year will not have a host, and this is, what did they say on the news? This is the first Oscars in more than, I want to say, in more than 30 years. The last time they did not have a host. Of course, I was too young to remember that. But ever since then, it's been like there's been a host for the Oscars. So it's gonna look and feel weird to watch the Oscars next month without a comedian or a host cracking you up every other, I don't know, every other category and whatnot. Now, I've made a list here on the pros and cons of Oscars 2019 without a host. So, what will be the pros and cons of watching the Oscars this year's minus the host? So, it's a very short list. If you can add some more, that'd be great. Of course, the obvious one, number one, the pros: shorter runtime, right? That has been the thing that has been the thing that causes headaches for the Academy. Is like, oh my god, we can't get the ratings we want because people are tuning off, and they think our ceremony is boring or too long. So voila, now that not having a host pretty much fixes that problem, because there will not be any opening monologue, which itself usually takes up about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's the pros, right? That's one of the pros. Shorter runtime. Um, Another one on my list here is the pros for having the Oscars without a host, or watching the Oscars without a host. No uncomfortable, terrible jokes in between or along throughout the whole ceremony. And that's a pro to me, because at the Golden Globes last week, I mentioned to you, man, I hated that flu shot jokes. I was like, what is going on? Why did you have that joke in? Like, who in the hell thinks that was funny? Like, scaring off your guests, into thinking like they're gonna get shot in the arm with a needle. And some people don't. Some people hate needles, man, or the jokes of it, the idea of it. Um, they don't see it as funny. They cringe. They look uncomfortable during that joke when those guys come out, jokingly say, "Oh, we're gonna give you flu shots." It's not funny. So I guess with not having those kinds of jokes that fall flat around during the Oscars, that is one of the pros. That's the advantage of not having like a host, or a comedic moment, sort of, if you will. Um, Now the cons, because this is pros and cons list of having the Oscars or watching the Oscars minus the host, is that because, as you know, by now, the Academy, because they don't have a host this year, they're gonna rely on short sketches. They're gonna make sketches, and they're gonna involve some of the celebrities that are there. Um, so that's the idea, at least one of the plans. And I think that might backfire, because relying on short sketches like Saturday Night Live kind of nature, you know, played by celebrities, I don't know, Margot Robbie or whoever that they're going to be there, it that might also fall flat, because not all of them are naturally funny. Not all of them have comedic timing. So if you want to have it like that, live, live sketches in between the categories, man, you better hope that, because if it sucks, that's gonna be the headline in tomorrow's newspapers and whatnot, or tomorrow's websites. I assume. Who reads newspaper, but who reads newspapers anymore these days? The other plan that they're gonna have, in addition to short sketches, is that they're gonna have it be musical in nature. So they're gonna have, I don't know, maybe they're gonna have Lady Gaga play her Oscar nominated song, if her song gets nominated, which I'm sure it will. The song "Shallow" from A Star Is Born. Now, I'm not against that idea, so that's not necessarily on my con list. Although I've mentioned to you that if the runtime is something that the Academy has been trying to rack their brains to fix, all these years, I mentioned to you before in previous videos about this, that maybe they should just cut out, or maybe do it in a montage style, some of the live musical performances of the songs that are nominated. Because every year at the ceremony, they'll have a live performance of each of the 5 songs that are nominated this year, that are nominated that year. So that always takes up time, because a song is, I want to say, about 3 to 4 minutes long. So I'm saying, like, okay, so if you want to cut down cut down the runtime, then maybe either just have it be on a montage thing. Okay, here are the nominees. Don't Because if you have live musical performance, what are you? The Grammys? This is not the Grammys. This is the Academy. Now, on the other hand, though, I'm a huge fan of Lady Gaga. So I'm sorry, I can't help it. I love her. I love her songs. I love her singing. So if I mentioned this to my friend the other day, like if they, since they don't have a host this year, I would not mind or I would not object to the idea that maybe in between categories, or maybe every other two, three categories, you could say you have short or a medley, I guess like a medley of Lady Gaga songs. Not necessarily, the songs from A Star Is Born, just any of her songs. So make it be like a Lady Gaga mini concert thing. But then again, that beats my initial or previous opinion about it, because like this is not the Grammys, this is the Oscars. I feel bad for those short categories: documentary short, animation short, live action short. They get thrown under the commercial, man. Holy crap, man, that sucks. Sucks to be them this year. So, by the way, Lady Gaga recently distanced herself from her previous collaboration with R. Kelly, and I think that's it's a smart move, but it's kind of politically motivated. Like she doesn't want to hurt her chances at the Oscars, So with all this thing with the hashtag mute R. Kelly and the surviving R. Kelly documentaries, I was like, you know what? That thing that I did with R. Kelly, that never happened. That never existed. So I don't know. Hopefully it works. But that's another topic for another time. Look what I told you. Like I mentioned to you when I made the videos about Kevin Hart, the whole controversy about the Oscars thing, and of course he withdrew or he stepped down. I said to you that I don't think any other comedians would want to take that job now, because they're a pretty tight knit community. They have each other's back. So I think if like, wow, you did that to Kevin, because of 10 years ago tweets that, I mean, I, comedians would be like, no, I don't want that job. And it's like, that's Kevin's job. How would the optics be? How the perception take that down? And yeah, Chris Rock said openly, like, no, I don't want to host again. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Now, I do want to share with you before we move on to the next topic that there is one suggestion from the fans as to who they think should host the Oscars. And this is very epic. And I found this, let me see on my screen here. It's from comicbook.com. The fans tweeted, I think last week, right? Is it last week? Let me give it a check here. Oh, maybe this past week, not last week. The fans wanted the character Korg from Thor Ragnarok movie to host the Oscars. Now, if you don't know Korg, he made an appearance in Thor Ragnarok, the third Thor film. Korg is an Asgardian gladiator. I think he's made up of rock or some sort, and he became a fan favorite character in that movie because he's so soft spoken, and yet, man, he is so optimistic and occasionally clueless, which makes him pretty funny. And he's voiced by the director himself, Taika Waititi. So there's a lot of tweets here. Korg should host the Oscars. Hey, my name is Korg. I would make a great host for the Oscars this year. Hey, my name is Korg. This is Meek, and we're hosting the Oscars 2019. So I'm not against that idea. It's gonna be pretty tough to pull off though, because it's a CG character. I don't know how that's gonna work out for full on 3-hour live ceremony like the Oscars. But am I against that idea? No, I'm not. I think it'll be pretty funny, and it even looks innovative, to have a CG character as funny as Korg, as funny as Korg hosting the Oscars. It'll be like, wow, we are stepping into the next, millennia of this is the next level of hosting. I was like, so, and the other comedians were like, oh damn, they took our job. They took our job. Um, so yeah, what do you think? Pros and cons of the Oscars this year's without a host. Do you like it? Do you I mean, does it discourage you now from watching the Oscars because like, oh man, you're not gonna get entertained because there's no jokes, you know, and you may not be too crazy about SNL type kind of sketches. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, excuse me. Let me before we get to the next topic. Whew, I've been sneezing all day for some reason here, sniffling. Sorry about that, guys. Mm. A reminder: Rama Screen is available at, or if you want to donate and help support this channel, you can do so at GoFundMe, gofundme.com/Ramascreen, or be a patron. Support Rama Screen channel on a monthly basis by becoming my patrons at patreon.com/Ramascreen. That's patreon.com/Ramascreen. I do a lot, man. I cover red carpet, I cover press junkets. I cover Comic Cons and film festivals. And so, and of course, I provide reviews of both movies and TV. So, yeah, any help that you can give me and give this channel, please do so at those two venues. Next topic is one. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Wow. Oh man, I wish I could play. Okay. Before we get to that, I mean, I love one of my favorite comedy movies of all time is Coming to America. Okay, it's a 1988 movie directed by John Landis. By the way, John Landis, man, I miss that guy. He hasn't directed anything since Burke and Hare. I think it's 2010. So I haven't even seen Burke and Hare. That movie that starred I think Simon Pegg in it, isn't it? Um, Man, John Landis needs to come back and make some more movies, man. I miss you. I miss you, John. Come on, you're one of the legends, John. So come back, come back, come back. So I watched Coming to America, not in 1988, obviously, because I was still like a little child at the time. But I watched it in the 90s. I think it was on TV and loved it. Loved it. Big fan of the movie ever since. Okay, so why am I telling you this? Because Coming to America 2 is happening. Yes, yes. We've known this for quite a while that Coming to America 2 you know, will be on the horizon. It's been talked about for quite some time, but now it's officially moving forward with a new director in charge. His name is Craig Brewer. He directed such movies as Hustle and Flow and Footloose remake, which I actually enjoyed. I don't enjoy a lot of remakes, but Footloose remake was pretty cool. And the director attached to it, the previous director attached to it was Jonathan Levine. Jonathan Levine gave us Warm Bodies and 50-50. Not sure why he left this project. They did not reveal that. Maybe it's scheduling conflict. They always say it's scheduling conflict for any reason. So anyway, Craig Brewer will direct Coming to America 2, the long anticipated sequel of the 1988 comedy. And the screenwriter is Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris is, as you know, the creator of Blackish series. I love that show, Blackish. It's pretty funny. If you haven't seen it yet, you got to check it out. It's on ABC. And Eddie Murphy, the star of Coming to America, Prince Akeem. So he released a statement about the whole Craig Brewer signing on board to direct. He said this, and I quote: "After many years of anticipation, I am thrilled that Coming to America 2 is officially moving forward. We have assembled a great team that will be led by Craig Brewer, who just did an amazing job on Dolomite Is My Name. And I'm looking forward to bringing all these classic and beloved characters back to the big screen." Now, for my fellow Coming to America fans out there, you would know that the first movie was about Prince Akeem and his bodyguard, played by God, the name escapes me now. He used to be a talk show host too. Remind me if I'll look it up on IMDb here right real quick. But anyway, it's about Prince Hakeem going to America, trying to find a potential wife. But she does. But Prince Hakeem doesn't not he doesn't want a yes girl. Because he in Africa he's so rich, and he's surrounded by yes men and yes people. All his wishes are granted. So it's like, no, I want to find somebody who's intelligent and strong and independent. And so, where's that? It's got to be here somewhere. Okay, here we go. And so that's pretty much the premise of the first movie. And him and um, Arsenio Hall, freaking a Arsenio Hall. He had a show in the '90s too. I remember that. So and so he worked at McDowell's, which is a satire of McDonald's. So he learned how to live a humble life, but Arsenio Hall's character hated every minute of it because he's like, man, my prince, let's go back to Africa where we had everything. Why are we slaving over here, man? Come on. So anyway, it's such a funny film. I don't want to spoil the whole details, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about the sequel. If you're wondering what it's gonna be about, it says here. I'm reading off the RollingStone.com. In the sequel, Eddie Murphy's character Prince Akeem returns to America to seek out his long lost son, the heir to the throne of the African nation Zamunda. So, which kind of tells you, like, wow, I guess things did not work out with him and the girl, and or I mean, long lost son. Like, is it from another woman? I mean, Prince Hakeem, before coming to America, probably also had relations, right, with other. I mean, women just throw themselves at him in Zamunda. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be how they're gonna connect this to the characters in the first movie, but he has a long lost son. Um, and that's the pretty much the premise of the sequel. Now, let me share with you my favorite scene coming to America, and I'm sure these are your favorite scenes as well. The first one, the royal penis. Oh my god! And I think this has become an internet meme as well. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness. And then something about what about the royal balls? When I saw that scene the first time, I guess, I mean, still to this day, I'm thinking like, how does she breathe underwater? Like, how did she do that? Like, cleaning his penis underwater like that? Like, does she take up air every few seconds or so? Like, I don't get how that works. and, and I know this kind of sounds graphic, but I'm just like baffled by that. And so royal ball, so she has to go under the water again and do her thing. And I'm sure, I don't know, I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm sure that there's some sort of a there's got to be some sort of a happy ending happening in there in that pool because of the cleaning of the penis and the balls. All right, so the second scene that's my favorite from the movie is when Samuel L. Jackson shows up as the holdup man, about to rob the McDowells that Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall were working in. And man, that's Samuel L. Jackson in the early years of his career as an actor. Just look it up, man. Holy crap. He hadn't had much or many gigs prior to 1988. Probably just like um small credit roles here and there in this small projects here and there. And then Coming to America came around, boom. Right? And then True Romance. He was in True Romance. And then he was in Goodfellas. Small roles, but still, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then bam, 1993, Jurassic Park. And then 1994, Pulp Fiction, Oscar nominee. So, man, you got to respect that. Samuel L. Jackson, is in the news recently because he's 70 years old. And I think the magazine said, something about to the tune of $17 billion gross of the totality of his movies and the box office over the years. That's fascinating, man. That's amazing. Uh, what a successful career. Samuel L. Jackson in 1988 was 40 years old. 40 years old. He was born in 1948. I mean, come on. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is if you ever complain about, oh my God, my career hasn't launched yet, and I'm already in my 30s, I'm already in my 40s. When is it going to happen? Especially this is for you guys if you guys are in the acting business or in the Hollywood. I know it's a tough world, but man, look, Samuel L. Jackson made it, in 1980, in his 40s. That's when he finally took off, 1988, 1990, and then 1983. So my point is, don't give up, guys. Yes, some people are lucky enough to get that big break in their 20s and even earlier than that, but some people have it later on in their life. You never know. You just never know. How the question is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? So looking forward to Coming to America 2. Yes, can't wait. What do you think? Are you excited about Coming to America 2? What do you want to see happen as far as story goes? Yeah, well, the log line or the premise. What do you want to see happen with this long lost son search thing in the sequel? And you know that usually Eddie Murphy and Arsenio would play more than 3 characters in the movie. Which character do you want to see them play, or which of the characters that they played in the first movie that you want to see coming back for this sequel? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. All right, so let me got my drink on here. I'm so thirsty. Woo, woo, woo. We're making good time here. Let's see, where is that thing on my list? Oh. All right. Before we get to the next topic, let's get to the chat real quick here. 123, here comes the beast, says Rama. Hope you are having a great Sunday. Oh, thank you. 123, here comes the beast. Tyler, my fellow YouTuber Tyler, love you, man. Love you that you always come back to tune in every Sunday. That's awesome. Michael Pena as his character from Ant-Man would be better. Disney could always resurrect a dead celeb with CGI as the host. Oh, okay. So you're saying like Bob Hope? They can bring back Bob Hope, CGI Bob Hope. Okay, I'm not against that idea. First, Mary Poppins and Now Coming to America are getting sequels or so many decades. What's next? A sequel to Taxi Driver? But that's the question, though, Tyler. That is the good question, though. Is this sequel 30 years too late? Because 1988, right? 2018. Yeah, last year was 2018, so it's 30 years now. Yeah, is it too late? It was too late for Sin City 2. Remember, Sin City 2 was not as well received as Sin City 1. So you never know. You never know. There might not be as much enthusiasm for Coming to America movies anymore. And the only people that think that, oh my God, it's going to be a great sequel are just the people who actually work on the movie. So we'll never know. I was disappointed by Mary Poppins Returns, but I guess I'm probably the only one there. But I thought that movie was so boring. By the way, Coming to America 2 should have been released last year. It would have been perfect to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the first film. Man, they waited too long, man. Okay, so the next topic is a quick one here. I want to hear your thoughts about it. And I'm reading off of CNBC or NBC News. The publisher of the classic Choose Your Own Adventure books is suing Netflix. That's right. Choose Your Own Adventure books publisher is suing Netflix, claiming that the streaming service infringed on its trademark format for the new movie Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Now, if you don't know or if you haven't seen Black Mirror Bandersnatch, it's a fantastic film. I loved it. It came out this past December, right before the New Year's. And yeah, it was basically choose your own adventure. It's like, and it has different options, and whatever you choose, can it can result in a longer runtime or a shorter runtime of the movie. And it's just like I mentioned in my review of this movie that uh, though it may seem fun to some, it may seem frustrating to others. Some people might not want to watch a movie in this format or this style because they might not, they just want to be given to instead of like having to participate or engage. That's to them, it might seem like an extra work or something that's annoying. It's like, oh my God, if I want to watch a movie, I want to watch a movie. If I want to play a game, I'll play a game. So that's probably the downside of a choose your own adventure type movie like Black Mirror Bandersnatch. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Um, the publisher's name is Chuseko, which was formed in 2004 to re-release several classic titles of choose your own adventure books that were originally published in the 1980s and 1990s. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 20th Century Fox is also developing a choose your own adventure movie based on those books. And I'm pretty sure 20th Century Fox has the rights to those materials. I don't know how that project is gonna, whether or not that's gonna happen now that Disney is buying 20th Century Fox. But we'll see. Okay, so let me read to you what Chuseko, the publisher, says here, and I quote. By the way, yeah, the co-founder and publisher of Chuseko, Shannon Gilligan, she said, and I quote: "We have received an unprecedented amount of outreach from people who believed we were associated with the creation of this film, including parents who were concerned that we had aligned the CYOA brand that they knew and that they loved with content that surprised and offended them." Do you see where they're getting at? So basically, choose your own adventure is supposed to be family friendly, right? Something that kind of like Nancy Drew. and and Netflix Black Mirror Bandersnatch, if you've seen the movie, not so Nancy Drew, not so family friendly. There's some pretty shocking, bloody. I mean, Will Porter, uh, and it's just, yeah, there's a lot of bloody stuff going on, graphic stuff. So it was, to me, I think it was directed to young adult audiences, but also mature audiences, not necessarily younger audiences, like teens, if you will. So the movie itself, it's about this programmer, Stefan Butler, who's trying to develop a new video game of choose your own adventure video game. But he himself finds himself in the process. He finds himself in a world where he doesn't know how to control it because apparently Netflix audiences are controlling him. So he's drowning in his own obsession and paranoia. There's drug use, there's murder, there's suicide, there's uh, death of a child in the film. So, and it has, of course, multiple endings depending on the choices that you make during the film. So, my question to you is: does Chuseko, this publisher, Chuseko, do they have a case? Do you think that they have a case here? Um, do you think this lawsuit is merited, or do you think that a concept, or do you think that choose your own adventure is a concept? It's not necessarily a concept that's owned just by choose your own adventure books. Do you think they have a case here? Do you think they're going to win, or they're going to settle it out of court? Who knows? And I'm sure they're not going to disclose the details if that happens. Um, I do hope that it doesn't come to that, though. I mean, like, I, I want to see, because after watching Bandersnatch, I wasn't like, oh my God, yes, please let this be the start of so many choose your own adventure movies. Like, it could be the trend. Like, how after Avatar, every other movie wanted to do 3D, like post conversion 3D. Even movies that did not need 3D is like, we're gonna 3Dize these things. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. No, no, no. I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't like, oh my god, yes, yes, Bandersnatch gonna be the start of this phase, this trend. No, but I'm not also at the same time. I'm not also against filmmakers or other creative vision or other creative people putting their own spin on choose your own adventure. So we should welcome that. So does that mean that if or whenever that happens again, whenever the movie or TV series comes up with their own spin of choose your own adventure, that Chuseko will sue them too? It's like, really, you guys, you're gonna sue them now? It's like, so that would deter other voices from making their own choose your own adventure. I just don't get where this is going with this lawsuit. Um, the idea that they own this, like, oh, this is ours only alone. I'm just not feeling it, man. I get the whole thing about copyright and patent, right? That's important stuff. That's important stuff. You gotta protect your creation. But is this something that only belongs to, or that can only be uh, told by only Chuseko? And then you have to ask their permission before you make your own spin of your own choose your own adventure movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But let me know your thoughts about this. Do they have a kiss? Kiss. Do they have a case? And kiss. Do they have a case? And do you think they win, or is this baseless? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I'm really, really curious. I don't have you know an exact or right answer for this, so let me know your thoughts about it. Um, so before we get to the next topic, okay, two more topics. The last topic is we're gonna announce the winners of Rama Screen Time Freak Blu-ray giveaway. So stay tuned. If you are the people who participated or put your name in on that Gleam link, participated in this contest, you're gonna want to hear whether or not your name is one of the winners, because I'm announcing two winners. Remember, two winners for Time Freak Blu-ray giveaway. So stay tuned. That's the last topic. So the next topic is, before we get to the next topic, let me get to the chat here. Anybody? Tyler. Okay, so who knew somebody owned copyright to choose your own adventure stories? Right? Right. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's like, who knew? Who knew? It's like somebody says, it's like this. Okay, oh, you can't make a movie about Jesus. We publish the Bible, and we own the rights to Jesus story. You can't make a movie about Jesus. Maybe I'm over exaggerating by that analogy. Anyway, Tyler Cabot also says, I felt bad for my choices for Will Poulter and Bandersnatch. What'd you do, Tyler? Did you kill him off early in the game? What did you do with Will Poulter? Uh, Man, that character is fantastic. Will Poulter plays it so well. It's such an enigmatic character that he plays in that. It's I mean, his character is like half inspiring, half admirable, but also half scary or sketchy. And yeah, man, much of that is thanks to Will Poulter's performance. Um, all right, so the second to last topic, because the last topic is the giveaway announcement. I want to hear your thoughts about this. This is a pretty heavy one. John Lasseter. Who is John Lasseter? John Lasseter is it's not an overstatement if I use the word legend in animation. He is one of the legends in animation. Despite what you may, despite the whole controversy thing, it doesn't take away from the fact that he is part of the legends in animation business. And he gave us Toy Story movies. He directed the first two Toy Story movies. He also directed the first two Cars movies, and of course he was the chief creative officer. That's the title of, I kid you not, Walt Disney Animation Studios, Pixar Animation Studios, and the Disney Toon Studios. Disney Toon is already defunct now. But man, that is some title, man. You are the head of the animation division of both Disney and Pixar, both powerhouses of animation. You're influential. You are powerful in that seat. And so he was one of the most powerful people in animation business. So, as you know, a refresher or a reminder, what happened? Giving you the timeline here. In November 2017, he suddenly took a 6 month sabbatical from Pixar and Disney because he has been accused by several women working under him or her subordinate. I mean, his subordinates, um, of misconduct. Not like in the level of Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey, but I believe it, what he was accused of is like touching and kissing inappropriately without consent. It's like touching in ties and whatnot. Like when they, whoa, what are you doing? You're making me feel uncomfortable here. I, if I'm not mistaken, that's the accusation. That's the alleged accusation. And so it's under sexual harassment or misconduct. That's the term they use. And so after the sabbatical thing in June 2018, he announced that he'll be leaving Disney and Pixar, but Disney and Pixar still would have him on uh, in a consulting role until he leaves. And it was by December, yeah, this past December, that he officially left Disney and Pixar. And then, bam, 9 days after the end of the year, after he officially left Disney and Pixar, January 9th, it was announced that John Lasseter has been hired to head the animation division of Skydance. Skydance, if you don't know, Skydance is a famous production company who gave us such movies as, the Mission Impossible movies, um, the Jack Reacher movies, Tom Cruise movies, of course, the upcoming Top Gun, and of course, Skydance also works closely with J.J. Abrams with his Star Trek Into Darkness and all those other movies. So, and they have an animation division now, and so they want John Lasseter to head it. And they have a couple of projects. Let me read to you here. Skydance Animation has a couple of projects down the pipe. I think a couple of movies. Man, where is that? I have that on my screen. Well, anyway, I'll look for that later. So they want John Lasseter to help them. Now, Skydance released a big ass, long ass statement on Variety, and it's the head of Skydance, David Ellison. Basically, the letter, you can read it. Let me give you the excerpts here. No, let me give you the gist of it. I'm not going to give you excerpts. So basically, David Ellison, in his long letter on Variety, is telling everybody, hey, we are aware of the misconduct that John Lasseter did at Disney and Pixar. We are aware of his mistakes prior to him coming on board our studio. And John Lasseter has apologized and has taken ownership of his behavior. He's apologized for his actions. And he has spent the past year in his sabbatical, analyzing and improving on his workplace behavior. So that's the gist of the letter. So David Ellison in the letter basically wants to tell everybody, hey, we do not take this hiring of John Lasseter very lightly. We don't condone misconduct in the workplace, in our workplace. So this is something that we have taken, considerable thought, or put some serious thought into it. And we have conducted an investigation of our own. And so we have come to the conclusion that John has learned his lesson, and therefore now we are hiring him as the head of our animation. So that's the gist of the letter. And boy, the reaction on Twitter was pretty fierce, man. Pretty fierce. Kirsten Gish says, while working on Brave, John Lasseter did not respect Brenda Chapman enough to attend meetings with her. Can't wait to see which women he ignores at Skydance. Wow. That's sharp. That is sharp. Yashar Ali said in response to this news, like, Why women don't report. Ouch. Yep. Um, Lori Skutza tweeted, and John Lasseter moves to Skydance as head of animation. Tell me again how being a creep ruins a man's life. Yeah. Betsy Bauer tweeted, you know who else did not take their decision lightly? All of the men and women who spoke out against a predator. Sorry, but this memo sucks. Referring to the memo, the long, lengthy memo or the letter that David Ellison wrote on Variety. Steve Yurko tweeted, the only place John Lasseter should have moved was off a cliff, driving a Lightning McQueen. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. So I gave you the context, how the memo, the letter. I gave you the Twitter reaction. I gave you the timeline, what happened to John Lasseter. I gave you the exact misconduct, alleged misconduct that he did. There's an article also this past couple of days when on Variety, I believe, that it says Skydance claimed that they have consulted with the Times Up movement, but the Times Up movement in that article says that there's no actual transparency on Skydance part. So, and Skydance wanted to kind of reach out to Times Up. Hey, we're gonna be hiring John Lasseter here, kind of consulting with you guys. Is that okay? Or what should be considered as the rehabilitation of somebody's image or reputation after having gone through such misconduct? So, but Times Up kind of like hesitant because they don't want to be used as Skydance's excuse to justify their hiring of John Lasseter. We like what I'm trying to say is that you don't want they don't Times Up doesn't want like for Skydance to use like oh yeah, it's okay guys, it's all right, calm down. Times Up says it's okay, so it's got to be all right, right? Come on, because Times Up says it's cool. We got the green light from Times Up, so they don't want to be used in that way. So and I remember back in 2017, late fall 2017, when this, thing came out. The whole Me Too thing was so fierce on, of course, Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and everybody else as well. And I was at the Star Wars The Last Jedi press junket, and I asked some of the mommy bloggers that were there, and I was like, hey, what do you guys think? Do you think Disney and Pixar should fire John Lasseter for this? To my surprise, some of them actually defended John Lasseter. Some of them actually said, I don't want to mention names, but some of them actually said, no, I think, if he has felt remorse or, felt sorry about it, they should keep him. Like, okay, that's fine. That's their opinion, right? So which leads us to the $1 million question. And yes, that the argument of like, wow, really? You take sabbatical, I'm sure it's leave on pay, and you probably get some, golden parachute leaving from Disney, I'm sure. I don't know how much, but and then you get hired at Skydance. Wow, yeah, the optics is bad because to people, perception is reality, and the way they look at it, it's like, wow, there's no accountability there. The guy pretty much just, I mean, even when he's on sabbatical, he was still on as consulting. He was a consultant to Disney and Pixar. So how is that actually leaving? So they have a basis when they argue or when they are outraged at the fact that there's no accountability to John Lasseter's misconduct. And the fact that he got hired again does say like, wow, that hurts, man. That's cold. Could you imagine if the shoes on the other, like if a woman goes through that, would they get hired again by another company that fast after just 9 days? I don't know. I would doubt it though. Now the other $1 million question is, what should be the right accountable measure for it? Like at the same time, you can understand. At least I can. I don't like what Louis C.K. did to those women. Like I said many times, if he wants to masturbate, he should do it in his own time, privacy. But if he wants to come back to stand up, dude, I can't stop that. I can't ban that. I mean, I have the right to walk away and not listen to the stand up, but I can't stop him like from he's a comedian. That's what comedians do. They do stand up. At the same, in that same sense, John Lasseter is an animator. He is an expert in animation. That's his that he lives and breathes that. So what is the right punishment then? That he has to work at another field that's not his expertise? Is that it? Like he should get banned from doing animation? It's like that he should get banned from trying to make a living doing what he does best. I don't know, man. What is the right accountability measure for such a conduct? Because again, he's not on the same level as Harvey Weinstein and everybody else. Um, but yeah, again, the optic is bad. If you just hire him right off the bat after he left Disney, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, that's why women don't speak up." And when if they say that, they have a point, because women will be like, "What's the point? What? Why should I speak up? Why should I speak out when the men that harass me are gonna get rewarded anyway? They're gonna get another job with another paying millions of dollars. So see, there's nothing happens. So I guess we should have just stayed we should have just stayed silent all along. So yeah, it is. I get why Skydance wanted John Lasseter, but the optics is not good, man. The optics is not good. It reminds me of when the crash happened in 2008. Remember that the big banks crash our economy because of their fraudulent. Just go watch the movie The Big Short. The Big Short will fill you in. Um, but there's no accountability. Nobody gets jailed. Nobody gets arrested. Nobody. I mean, our tax money goes to them, and none of the bankers get fired. None of them. And some of the banks even say that, wow, well, we need that bailout money not only to sustain us but also to retain some of those talents. I kid you not, to retain those talents. How are they talents when they crash the economy? Like, I don't get. I mean, I guess your definition of talents is very loose. Um, so there's that argument too. Yes, John Lasseter is good at what he does. He's a great animator. Um, but there's he doesn't really go through any sort of accountability measure. Like, he just left Disney and then bam, he gets another job and all is well, and that's it. Oh, we got to retain that talent. Freaking John Lasseter, he's an animation expert. We gotta have him back. We can't have him, you know, I don't know, retire or doing whatever. We gotta have him back. So this is a very, very touchy issue. I don't know the answer for this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think should have been the thing that would make John Lasseter learn his lesson? Or I guess the bigger question is, how long should he have been in the doghouse? Does he have to stay longer? I mean, like, what will be? Can we come up with some sort of a measurement for that? For this kind of situation, and who gets to decide that, and how do we decide that? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to hear what you think of it, about John Lasseter being hired at Skydance just a few days after he left Disney and Pixar after the whole misconduct allegations. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Okay. All right. So the last topic is the announcement of the winners. Okay. Let me see here. We're making good time. This is good timing here. An hour. That's cool. Okay. Drum roll, please. Where drum roll? Drum roll. Drum roll. Where's drum roll? Okay. There you go. And the winners, the two winners of the Time Freak Blu-ray. Time Freak is the movie starring Asa Butterfield and Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner, the star of Game of Thrones. And the two winners of Time Freak Blu-ray giveaway from Rama Screen are are, not is, are Chichiro Chusia. I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. Let me try that again. Chihiro, Chihiro Suchiya. Chihiro Suchiya from Valley Village, California, USA. So that's winner number one. Winner number two is Derek Johns. Derek Johns from Galveston, Texas, United States. So Chihiro and Derek, congratulations on being the winners of Rama Screen Time Freak Blu-ray giveaway. Thank you so much for participating. I'll contact you soon so you can give me your contact info so I can forward it to the studio, so then the studios can ship the prizes directly to your addresses. So yeah. Enjoy. Rejoice. Okay, so we'll just chat here real quick before we end the show. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Oh, Julian's film discussion says, "Hey, my name is Julian. I'm 16. I'm a really big fan of films. I subscribed after I saw your review of Holmes and Watson. As soon as I walked out of the theater, I saw your review. Hilarious. The film was garbage. Because I think it's okay. So Julian also had some thoughts about Skydance, because Skydance is garbage." Have you seen Only God Forgives? I have not seen Only God Forgives, Julian. I apologize. There are so many movies I have not seen out there, so I'll definitely have to check that out. I believe that's with Ryan Gosling, right? Maybe I've seen it. But I gotta remind myself again of what the scenes are. It's been a while. Tyler Calvert says they better end up being good animated films if they're gonna risk it at all. If they're gonna risk it all hiring him, that's true. Good point, Tyler. Good point. So this is a big risk hiring John Lasseter. So they better bring gold, man. They better knock it out of the park. So Julian's film discussion. Thank you so much for watching my reviews. That's right. Ryan Gosling. Yes, it is very divisive. Okay, good. I might have to see it again. I haven't seen Glass yet. I'm gonna see Glass tomorrow, so I'm not gonna talk about it right now. But thank you, Julians. So thank you, Tyler and Julians, for chatting with me, and everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this weekly show, Rocking It with Rama Screen Live. It airs live stream right here at youtube.com/ramascreen1 every Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Again, press that like button, subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen, patreon.com/ramascreen. Please, okay? Thank you so much. Let's rock this.